Girlfriend, Girlfriend, or Kanojo no Kanojo. I don't know. This is a hot mess of a show. And I don't know if it's just terrible or absolute genius. I still don't know. I watched the first two episodes of this series, and this is my thoughts on it. But man, like I said, I don't really know where I fall in this show, because at times I'm like, this is so genius. And then other times I'm like, God, these characters are so stupid. I don't know. I don't know where to begin. I really don't. Just to give a brief idea of what the show is for those that have not watched it and are, viewing this to find out if they want to check it out. It essentially follows a guy named Noya, and apparently he has been confessing like every single day for months to this girl Saki, and finally she has accepted his proposal, and they are now going out. And he's super excited about it. They have this cute little scene right at the beginning where she's like, I'm going to my club, don't cheat on me. And he just like freaks out like, I'm so sorry that you would ever think that if you don't feel secure that I would ever do that. I must have done something to make you think that I would do that. I'm so sorry. I cherish you so much. And he's like embracing her like in the middle of the classroom and embarrassing the heck out of her. And she's finally like, okay, I get it. Cool. All right. And then it kind of leaves. And everything seems great. They're having this great relationship. They super lovey-dovey on each other. And then one time when he's up on the roof of the school, a girl confronts him. This girl, Nagisa. And Nagisa apparently has... This is the weird thing. She like shows up and she's like, "Are you Naya?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm Naya." And she's like, I want to go out with you. Can you please? Would you be my my boyfriend?" And he's like, and she's like, "Oh, I did all this stuff. She basically prepared. She essentially day and night, she spent all this time to beauty herself up, be physically fit, do all this stuff to make herself the perfect girl. She studied cooking like for 8 hours a day and bathed and did, all this stuff for her skin and just everything just to make herself the perfect girl. All to confess to him." Now, of course, my first question is, why did you have to ask him if he's the person that you're asking about? She's like, she literally comes up and says, "Are you Naoya?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm Naoya." It's like, so you did all this stuff and you don't even know who he is? Of course, that was throwing up a red flag for me. I'm like, so is this one of those cases where she sees how lovey-dovey the two of them are and she's trying to test him? But I guess it kind of turns out, as you'll find out later, and I think the second episode and stuff, is that she literally didn't go to school for a long period of time in order to basically master the art of being the perfect girl. Like, she wanted to be with him so much, she skipped school to teach herself cooking and all this stuff just to confess to him. So it kind of implies the idea that she knew him before she had left for a long time to beauty herself up to come back and be able to basically conquer him. So I'm assuming that she just didn't recognize him fully because she hadn't been to school for so long and he has changed a little bit. So I'll give that a pass. But anyways, I'm thinking too much on this. So in her confessing and showing all that she did in order to be the perfect girl for him, he's like, crap, I have a girlfriend already. And she's like, oh, well, I'll just keep trying until eventually I can win you over, I guess. And she's a little bummed. And he's like, no, forget this. Let's go ask my girlfriend if you can both be my girlfriend. So she's like, all right, cool. I'm okay with that. And so they rush off to find Saki and they run off together. And Saki is floored by this girl. She's like, this girl is so cute. And I'm like, yes, she's definitely super cute. Like, every time it shows Saki's vision and seeing Nagisa, it's like this little cute puppy dog bark in the background. She's like, oh my gosh, kawaii. And they're like running around together, and she's trying out Nagisa's food. And she's like, I want to marry you. You're so great. You're so perfect. I want to go out with you. And then eventually Naya's like, hey, by the way, she wants to be my girlfriend. Can you both be my girlfriend? Can I be both of your boyfriend? And yeah, Saki obviously is like, hell no, that's not going to happen. What the hell are you talking about? But after like pressing and saying that he's going to do everything he can in order to make them both happy, and he can't deny Nagisa. It would just be too cruel. She's too beautiful. He's being honest. Like, he's saying, like, literally, I'm being honest. finally Saki like agrees to it. Like, you guys are crazy, sure, whatever. Because Nagisa's like, I'm fine with it. She's like, aren't you upset about this? No, I'm not. I'm fine with this. Nagisa seems to be very open-minded to maybe a critical error state, but and this continues. Naya, in order to help them both kind of get closer, decides, oh, I don't live with my parents, so you can all stay at my place. And Nagisa's like, sure, that sounds cool. And Saki's like, wait, what? Okay, sure. And this begins this whole kind of thing of them all living together and apparently trying to hide that they're all three in a relationship. And even though he wants to tell everybody because Nagisa is now going back to school and has no friends, Saki's not having any of it because she doesn't want to have anybody know. Her point was that she doesn't want anybody else to know because she doesn't want anybody to believe that he's not treasuring her enough. And that's her sticking point. So yeah, chaos ensues. Basically a consenting and active harem with an actual relationship, which we've had a lot of harem shows, but this is like one where it's really hitting on the idea that they're actually in a relationship and they all know each other is with it. So, and I'm assuming later on we're probably going to bring in all these other characters that are obviously being very unique in the background looking, that they will all probably be eventually part of his little active harem. Like I said, I don't know my feelings on this show because Naoya is obnoxious. I cannot stand him. He is... I get a kick out of the fact that he is super, super honest. That's the whole shtick, is that he's so honest. Like, there's this point in which Saki realizes that if Nagisa is in a relationship with Naoya also, that they're going to eventually want to do it. And so this freaks her out, and she runs out there to Naoya and says, you're not going to do anything like that with her, are you? And he's like, well, I actually thought that we can all three together. And this is like, again, an honest point. He's being honest. He's like, I don't want to lie to you. He doesn't want to lie to him. That's why he brought the idea of having a relationship with Nagisa up to Saki. He's like, I don't want to hide a relationship with Nagisa. I want you to accept it. So he's like super brutal honest, but at the same time, he's so stupid. He's so stupid. And it's to a point where I just don't understand why these people like this guy. He's like so stupid. But I guess that's the whole aspect of that. I guess there's a charm there in how honest he is. I mean, I guess Saki can take solace in knowing that he'd never cheat on her because he's stupid. He's so stupidly honest. But at the same time, it's hard for me to really grasp that. I'm certain eventually they'll show when Nagisa first met Naya. Which, again, that would be kind of the tragic aspect of her, the idea that she fell in love with him back here, wasted so much of her life and her schooling just trying to be the perfect girl, and then eventually come in and he's got somebody else. A little bit heartbreaking there, but that's kind of where we're sitting at. I mean, it's a lot of the humor is around the idea of how stupidly honest Naya is, how Saki is the semi-violent, really loud straight man, pointing out the absurdities. And then having Nagisa basically be the too pure, too cute, pretty ditzy girl that's kind of thrown in the situation as well. It's kind of throwing the foil in the bag, so to speak, as Saki and Naoya had like this kind of lovey-dovey relationship, and now she's here, and she's creating the doubt in Saki, and Saki's obviously competing with her, even though that she technically doesn't have to because Nagisa doesn't care. Of course, both of their fears, the idea of them being eventually Naoya getting tired of one or the other and moving on. But yeah, Nagisa finding the search results of Saki, has nothing in there but sex in it. So I've had a lot of good laughs out of this show for sure. They're just a lot of dorks. They're just this three stupid dorks trying love out in like the most seemingly inconvenient way. But like I said, I'm so mixed on the show. I want to like it. I think there's dorks. It makes me laugh at the absurdities that are in it. But at the same time, I really hate the character. I hate. No, yeah, he's too loud. He's too obnoxious. And I know that that's technically the point, is that sincerity that he has, that he's overly passionate about, that just infects everybody around him. But he is still annoying in the end. So yeah, I'm struggling with this one. I'm gonna keep watching it just because I love the absurdities in there. I love Nagisa. I love Saki. And I'm curious when you add the other characters how that chemistry is gonna turn around. I'm really looking forward to Rika, Pigtail Girl. I'm hoping that she's gonna be the tsundere character. Shino is actually Megaman Seiyu, so I'm gonna be looking forward to her as well. I love Ria Takahashi, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But my verdict is still out there on this one. But that's my thoughts on the first 2 episodes of Girlfriend, Girlfriend. Hope you guys enjoyed this impression. If you did, leave a like down below. Comment. Let me know what you thought of the series so far. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I thank you all for watching, and y'all take care.